You want to get
I want to
a
sit
stool
with
up
you.
here?
I want to sit with
You
you.
want to sit
Yeah.
with me? Okay.
Who's the star of the show? You!
Lakeland.
Okay, team, we literally have 20 minutes. First off, what is your favourite movie? We covered this
Favourite
yesterday.
movies.
We didn't talk about it, but I just want to get the accent out.
Oh, my favorite. Well, yesterday we were talking about Snatch. That's one of my favorite movies. But actually, Fight Club is one of my older favorite movies. That's what CrossFit Mayhem was actually named after. Was Fight Club.
Really?
So yeah, you know, Project Mayhem, CrossFit Mayhem. That's where it came from.
Can you
And
do...
who came up with the name?
Preston did not come up with the name. My cousin Preston tries to take credit for it, but he didn't. It was me and Darren. So when we were younger, Darren, who's the head coach here, the winningest coach in CrossFit Games history, besides Shane, his oldest brother and myself were best friends, and so our favorite movie at the time was Fight Club. And then when he passed away, we kind of did it as a tribute to him. So that's why it's CrossFit Mayhem.
So I was blown away yesterday when he did his accent. I thought there was someone else different in the room. So this is from Snatch.
Okay.
Take it away.
Which clip do you want me to do?
Just anyone with no swearing.
You like dags? You like dags? Oh, dogs. Yeah, I like dags.
English words into American. What is chuffed?
Chuffed.
Put it into a sentence.
Chuffed something you eat, or is that when you're mad? I don't know.
Put it in a sentence.
I'm really chuffed off.
What's a cuppa?
A cupper?
Yeah. Put it into a sentence.
I want a cupper? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it like a cup
Cup
of
of
tea?
tea.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice. Say it in English.
Cuppa? Cuppa?
Nice.
Cuppa?
Knackered.
Naked?
Yes.
Is it a napkin?
Bog roll.
Bog roll?
Chin wag.
Chin wag? You should shave your chin wag?
And that is all for the English.
Actually, so I heard Jake, one of our friends, invited you guys back for a 4th of July.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand why you guys didn't celebrate 4th of July. And I was like, Jake? Yeah. He's like, wait, you guys don't... No, it's kind of an American thing. So, yeah.
4th of July day of mourning, England.
Half-mast flags. You guys do half-mast flags?
Chris Inshaw. If you want to have some fun, ask him about his worst CrossFit Games event. Many think it was the rope climb that cost him the 2010 Games, but it was actually his walk in 333.
That was pretty embarrassing. I've had a couple different embarrassing moments at the CrossFit Games, let's be honest. There was in 2010, the rope climb obviously. 2011, I actually walked on the beach sand run. Was doing great through the first half. The second run crushed me. Soft sand was awful. 12, I don't think I had any major hiccups. 13 was pretty good, and then 14, the walking on 333, yeah, that wasn't
Didn't
fun.
you stop like 4 times?
Yeah, or more. Wow. But the thing is, I still beat some other guys walking.
Were you trying to keep with Kalipa? That's what I heard the story was. Because he went hot on the double unders.
He went hard.
row.
I mean, he's such a good rower. I knew I couldn't keep up with him on the row. On double unders, I didn't think it would be that big of an issue. I mean, I was spent. Went out too hot on the run, and then it was super hot that day, and it was either pass out or walk, and so I decided to walk. And so some other people the next year on Murph decided to pass out, and then your games is ruined. So
I remember watching that as a spectator, and it was hot.
it was hot.
It was so hot.
And it was like you're on the pavement.
Regardless of
Yeah.
going through that workout, it was so hot
And I was
that
an idiot
it was actually probably
wearing black Nano 5s,
Yeah.
or 4s, Nano 4s. So trying to run in that. It was before I actually knew much about running.
like
Before
it.
working with Chris.
He said in 333, it significantly put you down the leaderboard. This ultimately led to a pivotal conversation with Hillary later in the weekend. This conversation proves, without question, that Hillary is the person in charge of the relationship.
That was actually in 13. That didn't go with that. It was in 13 when Jason won. I did terrible on that was another embarrassing moment at the Games of Pool event. Did awful on that event. It was like 27th. Got 27th in that event. Jason did pretty well. He won both rows, and then he won the burden run. And so after that, I was in like a 200-point hole. I think I was in 4th or 3rd or something like that. And I was just being a baby and feeling sorry for myself. And we're sitting back then we were in the stadium at StubHub, and Hillary came down in the athlete area, and we're just sitting there talking, and I was just being a baby, and she looks at me and she goes, well, if you're not having fun, let's just go home. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, she goes, just tell Dave get your stuff. Just tell Dave you're leaving. I was like, yeah, I'm going to tell Dave that I'm leaving the CrossFit Games just because I'm not having fun. And so she's like, well, you better just start having fun then. So there we go. Turned around from there.
Does she wear the trousers?
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
We've seen it a little bit.
Yeah.
What was your first car ever?
My first car ever was an Isuzu Hombre. So it was basically it's an S10, so a Chevy S10, small pickup truck. It was actually like we call them meter man trucks, so like people that go check the electrical meters.
Oh, nice.
It had an actual sticker that was removed, so it removed some of the paint. I actually learned how to drive on a '69 C10 pickup truck, and that's what I thought my first truck was going to be, but it was that
country.
little S10 truck. Yeah, so country.
So you've done a lot, right? You've been all over the world.
Yep.
With this.
Couple things,
What is left on your bucket list? What do you want to do? Is there something in your mind that you're like?
Yeah, I do want to go to Australia.
Yes.
There's got to be something that you're like, before maybe my career's done or after my career, there's something that I really want to dive into and just do it. Or are you just pretty content and chilled?
I like where we're at. I would like to race a car. Yeah. Like go to some driving school or something like that.
If you come to Australia, we train a few of the Red Bull racing boys.
In. I'm done. I'm in. Count
Yeah,
me in.
supercars. It's like the Australian NASCAR.
Yeah.
Like a NASCAR Australia.
We were talking yesterday, and Edinburgh was one of the coolest places that I'd been, and I want to go back where I actually have some time. I mean, as bad as it sounds, I like being at home. You know, I get to hang out with these guys, and I'm kind of a homebody, and I do enjoy once I get to places, I like being there, but getting there is the airport and all that stuff. That's the hard part of it.
What's the best piece of advice that you've been given?
What's
something that's stuck with you over these years of being the top dog? Someone told you something and you went, yep, that's it.
My grandfather or my dad. I mean, I don't think, words for me are just words usually. I think it's more of like seeing how hard my parents work, both my mom and my dad, my grandparents as well, all of my family. So just, I'm not really, I'm not a motivational quote guy. I don't look into that stuff too much. It's lead by example, and that's, kind of the way I was brought up. That was the leadership style both of my parents had, and so that's just the leadership style that I have. And so I don't really know if there's ever really one piece of advice that's been given other than just a whole collection of actions by my parents.
Lead by example has been one thing that I've seen since you've been here.
Yeah, it's
when we're doing the workouts, so you always finish first and you always go in that chair.
No.
Like the whole team are still working and you just sit there in the chair.
Hey,
just watch them finish out.
Just watch them.
I thought that was pretty cool. Do you use emojis? Because when you message us, I don't get an emoji, so I don't know if you like me or don't like me.
I use GIFs. I don't really use emojis.
Yeah.
The American flag and the eagle, and sometimes the middle finger are the only GIFs or the emojis that I use.
I didn't get that one, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Flag.
So I speak in GIFs usually though.
What is your go-to track? Like you need to get pumped up. You've got a 5-minute workout. You want a 5-minute track. What is Rich Froning going to put on?
I mean, everybody knows that when they watch our videos, they're kind of like, you guys listen to worship music, but for me, what, baby? In a second, we'll turn on the movie. Okay, just a second. Chris, just a second. Fierce by Christian Stanfill. It's a Christian song, but it gets me fired up.
Gets you amped.
Yep. Set of Fire is also another good one.
Are you a good cook?
I can grill, yeah.
Tia's coming around to your house and so are we. What do you cook us?
Steak, some sweet potato fries.
Can you nail sweet potato fries? Because majority of us get them soggy.
Well, you got a greaseless deep fryer. One of the air fryers. That's where it's at. Next time you come.
Do you have a joke?
Do I have a joke? No, I'm not that funny.
You do. Royce told us about the pig one.
Oh, the pig one.
Oh yeah, what kind of
I'm ready
what kind
for
of bread? What kind of bread do pigs eat? Wheat. Nice, get it?
Such a dad joke.
Such a dad joke.
So appropriate.
That's all I know.
It's a dad
That's all I
joke.
know.
I love dad jokes. 2 elephants fell off a cliff. Ba-boom. All right, no reaction. That's fine.
I get it.
Time was a little off the bone.
I've seen it for myself over the last couple of days. But what's your usual training like? Because for me, it just seems like you're in there all day.
Yeah.
But it's because your barn is right. Like if
Barn, yeah, it's how. Yeah, I mean, we can work out pretty much whenever we want, so it's nice. Yeah, I mean, throughout the week, it's usually we meet up. Team meets up about 9:30, We may start with some type of interval. We may start with swim or whatever it is, and then usually work out till about 12:30, 1 o'clock-ish, break for an hour or two, and then train again about 3:30 or
So it's like a full work day.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
In a minute. We're using it for a timer. We're almost done.
Do you get starstruck by people? Or is there someone that you want to meet?
You know,
I'd love to meet The Rock.
I would love to meet The Rock. Yeah, that would be a cool one to meet. I grew up, my childhood hero was Barry Sanders. We actually have a fat head of him in our office, and I would like to meet him. What, baby? In a second. I'm almost done.
No. Dad.
We need the time.
This is all the time.
This is literally all the time.
When he's not working out, this
We
is
got
exactly
5 minutes.
what it's like.
5 minutes. Go see what Danner's doing real quick, and I'll be right back.
No.
You're stranded on a desert island with 2 games athletes. Who do you choose apart from Dan Bailey and Josh Bridges?
Is Facundo. You know Facundo, right?
I know if we can do
Okay,
it.
so he does this all the time. This is his game. And we joked that if you had Jason Khalipa, he would somehow come up with a way to sell the bananas or coconuts to the monkeys or whoever's on the island to make some type of business out of it. So, but no, I mean, Josh is obviously a no-brainer, Bridges, because he's ex-Navy SEAL. You want somebody like that, good for comedic relief most of the time. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another
Funny.
games athlete that.
We're sitting right in front of you.
Yeah, can't really figure it out here.
Put me in, coach.
Definitely.
I don't know your guys' survival skills. I mean, you guys do come from Australia, but
Tia is a country girl. She could shoot pig and
One event you could go back and do. Relive.
swim. I wanted that swim event with the pool because I did so terrible on it that I am a much better swimmer
Still
now.
scarred?
Yeah, that one still bothers me.
Do you eat pizza?
Oh yeah, love pizza.
Yeah, you do. Do you have pineapple on your pizza?
I don't mind pineapple on my pizza.
Or do you have it?
Not regularly. No, that's not my that's not like my first choice, but I would eat it. Like,
as an interviewer, you can't skew the.
you can't skew the question.
Force the answer.
You don't like
Forcing the
pineapple.
answer.
You don't like pineapple on pizza.
I don't like
I get
pineapple on a
that. I get
pizza.
that.
Do you get nervous? Are you one of those people, like I guess it's competitive. You know when you go into competition and like a lot of people just get nervous before you go into competition. Do you get those nerves before you go out on the floor?
For sure. Yeah.
How do you deal with them?
I think you just kind of use it. You channel it and use it for to make you go harder, make you go faster. If you didn't, every time I get out there, I'm like, why do I do this? This feeling's awful. But then, in the middle of it, you enjoy it, and at the end of it, you're glad you did it. But man, super nervous.
Have you ever gone through times where you doubted yourself?
Yeah, all the time, every time, almost every event. You're like, man, can I hold whatever pace I think I'm gonna hold? Is so and so gonna go faster? There's gonna be some doubt that creeps in there, but you just kind of deal with it and push through it.
What goes through your head? Do you know when you do an event, like some people, like me, I think when I'm going through the event,
Yeah.
some people say they don't.
Yeah, for sure. There's always some type of, for me is, everybody kind of says, well, I just, I get in my own head and I, try to do my thing and don't worry about everybody else. But I think you have to worry about everybody else and you have to watch everybody else. And I think that's where the sport comes into play, is you have to kind of, if somebody's better at something, or certain movement, you don't want to let them get too far ahead. Can you catch them on the next thing? Are they going out too hard? Can you see them start to suffer a little bit? Can they keep that pace? There's a lot of things going on in my head usually when, it's a little bit different now on team. You're kind of watching your teammates more than you're watching everybody else, but you're still kind of you got to step back a little bit and be present enough to know what's going on. I mean, if you're a true competitor and you want to win, you've got to do those things.
You love the Avengers.
I love the Avengers.
So if you could be one of the Avengers, which one would you be?
Oh man,
I'd be Iron Man.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Captain America would be a good one.
He dies off in this.
He does die, so I'm getting old, so that's, I don't know if it's confirmed. It's in all the leaks, so maybe they threw that leak out there for you to. Captain America. I did really like this last Thor Ragnarok, and Thor became pretty cool in that one. Before that, I was like, Thor's all right, but now I'm like, Thor's pretty cool. So
Got a decent
That's a
hammer.
really good film.
yeah,
Just to let you guys know, Rich Froning does not play Pokemon Go,
I do not play.
but he is
Pokemon,
excited for the
period.
Pokemon movie.
I do kind of want to see it. Ryan Reynolds is a funny dude.
Yeah.
It'll be a good movie, I think.
Do you reckon you would ever make a movie apart from the movie that you've already made? But like, if
In a movie.
apart from that one,
In a movie.
if the Avengers came to you and said, Rich,
Absolutely.
we want you to be in the Avengers,
I would love to. Yeah, of course.
that would be cool.
Heck yeah.
If you could be anything other than, obviously,
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, if you could go back.
elite, what?
Yeah.
If you could choose anything.
Anything? I mean, growing up, I always wanted to play professional baseball. Like, that was my thing. Now it's like there's so much travel involved in that. That would be tough. I mean, any professional sport I would love to do. Hockey. I really enjoyed playing hockey the last couple of years that we started playing hockey. Yeah, something some sport. Yeah, I grew up, you know, I tell the story all the time. I'm one of 32 first cousins on my mom's side, and 25 of us are boys. So it's just competition constantly. And so I think I have to do something where I compete.
What's the worst job you've ever had? Have you had some bad jobs?
I was an exterminator. So like I crawled in under houses and sprayed for bugs. I did that when I was a firefighter on my off days with one of the guys that was my lieutenant, or he was my engineer. I did that. I washed and waxed houseboats, which sounds like a great job because you're at the lake all the time, but it's terrible because everybody's going out to have fun and you're washing and waxing houseboats. It was terrible. But yeah, exterminator wasn't the most fun job I ever did.
What's the funniest thing that's happened to you at the games? Come on, there's got to be a story.
There is one. When we were rowing the half marathon in 13, Zach Forrest, and this I tweeted this a couple years ago, but Zach Forrest looks at me and we're rowing and we kind of like lock eyes awkwardly, and he goes, "Think about pancakes, that's what I'm doing." I was like, that's better than what the hell we're doing right now, because it was awful. But yeah, it was funny. I don't know why that was so funny to me at the time, but I was like, I needed that, you know?
Yeah.
So it was good. He goes, "Pancakes, that's what I'm doing."
Are you happy that you didn't do the marathon row?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about that actually this last week, and the full marathon row would be terrible, but the half marathon row that we did with the 2K sprint, I think is worse.
Yeah.
Because you had to go so hard, because especially for me not doing well in that first event, I had to sell out on that 2K, and then having to suffer through a half marathon after that was so daunting and miserable, because you're just so uncomfortable, and you can't, like, you know, when you finish a 2K for like a PR 2K, you want to roll off the rower and like writhe in pain. You had to keep pulling on that rower.
What was your 2K time?
6.
First thing that comes to your mind right now, say it.
Nothing now. Couch.
Sweet. What's the most amazing thing that you've done and then you've like looked up and looked around and no one's ever noticed it? You know, I've had moments where
we talk about like
cool.
Sure you have to.
Yeah.
Now dad reflexes. Like, you know, everybody talks about that. Like Trice one day was walking out to the barn and there's only one mud puddle the entire way there, and I'm like, nah, there's no way. Sure enough, he walks right to it, slips, and I catch him like by the shirt before he falls flat on this mud puddle, and I'm like, that was awesome, and nobody saw it. Such a letdown. You're just like, wow, I'm a badass, and then you're like,
You just wish there was someone in the distance.
I know, you're like, yeah, I know, right? Nothing.
So, you know, air rifles are now, they're like, I guess it's like the first event that's come out with a gun in it.
Yep.
What do you think about that? Do you like it? Are you a fan?
It's an airsoft rifle. Like, it shoots plastic pellets, so it's fine. I think so.
Yeah.
I know people are going to say that it promotes violence, but it's an airsoft pistol. Like, it's not going to be that.
I'm glad they did a biathlon, because then it's pretty much an Olympic sport already, so people are like,
I
I
think
can
it's cool.
accept that.
Yeah. How can you argue that? I mean, they do it in the Olympics, so.
Yeah. And you are going to go individual rogue, but in the classics?
The Legends.
In the Legends?
The Legends event. That's the game plan right now. As long as health permitting, yes, that's the game plan.
I've seen your life, and it's like, people are always, you know, like that article came out, like the joke article that then I picked up on too, because it gets the views.
Yeah, hey, clickbait, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You know, like everyone's like, oh, you know, you finished 10th in the Open, which is super impressive.
Right.
You know, like,
thank you.
You're not going out there to win the Open. You're just doing it. Like, you didn't even have to do it.
Yeah.
But you just did it anyway.
Right.
Everything one and done.
I redid the handstand one because it wasn't that terrible, and I knew I needed to go faster on the handstand walk. It was more almost like I should go faster. Let me redo this one. So.
Just a lot of people are saying like, oh, why doesn't he come back and do individual, you know, and go against Matt and all? And I look at it from the point of like, you've done your thing, and now you've, like, when you look around and when you're at the barn, like, it's so fun to see you interacting with your family and your kids and stuff. And I think a lot of people maybe don't understand sometimes.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like, part of it is too, like, physically I feel like, yeah, I could hop back out there and still be competitive, but there's something that's just like, after the 5 years of competing as an individual and doing the individual thing for so long, that you just, like, I stepped back from it, and the mental, like, the kill switch, like, I don't feel like I need to do that anymore, you know, like, I don't have that where I want to go out and win the CrossFit Games as an individual. And so if I'm physically the same as somebody else, if they have that extra little switch, they're obviously going to win because I get in the open workouts and I'm like, I should push right here. But I don't really need to, you know.
Yeah.
Like as bad
I
as
wish
that
I had
sounds,
that feeling.
as
I'm like,
bad
I
as
need to
that
push right
sounds,
here, and I can't.
You know, it's just
Or worse,
for
you
me.
push, you still come back.
For me, I feel like it'd actually be a disservice to competing to know that, you know, if I went out there, I don't have that same push that somebody else has that should be there, that they have that push. I don't know, just for me, it's not.
I guess now you get that push from the people around you.
From the team, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll do whatever I have to or whatever I can for my teammates. But for myself, I'm like, you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't have that anymore, and I'm not going out there to get third or top 10. Like I would, if I'm going to the CrossFit Games as an individual, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And so I wake up every day as an individual. My goal was to win the CrossFit Games. Now, when I wake up every day, my goal is to be a dad.
Yeah.
And so it's different. You know, his priorities are different. So.
But you still have a lot of training in there.
I still, but I love what I do, and I get to train hard, and I still get to compete and fulfill that side of my life. But it's not, when I'm done training, I don't think about training anymore. Like I can kind of, I still at times think about training. That'd be a lie, but it's not. When I was an individual, I was obsessed.
Yeah,
like,
people said, because we were talking to people last night and they were like, yeah, he used to just come in and bury us. And then I'd be like, I really have to go.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nope, you're not leaving.
It's pretty accurate. Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, in relationships and other things like that suffered, and I'm just not willing to do that anymore. Like, and I have nothing left to prove. You know, I don't feel like so.
Do you play video games?
I'm horrible at video games. I actually do have one of my buddies built a chair for a steering wheel, and so the only game I actually play is NASCAR because you can just drive, and I can play that pretty well. But like I'm terrible with Call of Duty or anything like that. Awful.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
And one piece of advice for people who are getting into CrossFit. You know, those people that are new.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody gets so caught up. You know, Pat Sherwood says there was a saying that he said, you know, like make it the best hour of your day. CrossFit and fitness should not be an added stress. Even if it's not CrossFit, do something. Like we get so caught up in fighting about, you know, is bodybuilding, is it powerlifting, is it CrossFit? I don't care. Do something. Like and make it enjoyable. Make it a stress relief and not an added stress. So many people get so caught up in, oh, you know, and it is good to have goals and to push and, you know, to have something and, you know, to be worked up about it. But man, when you're done, leave it at the gym and have fun.
You're going to get more out of it if you enjoy it.
Exactly. It's supposed to be a stress relief, not an added stress.
And you're bringing out a coffee, aren't you?
Josh is working on Good Dude's coffee, so we'll see. I'm gonna have to actually start drinking coffee, I guess, because I don't do caffeine. The only time I do caffeine is when I compete, just so I have more sensitivity to it. A couple years ago, I quit doing caffeine, so I don't drink any caffeine other than competition days. Yesterday I had some caffeine.
This is the last one I'm ever going to have.
There we go. Except for when you compete.
This is why my fitness is not
That's
so good.
what it is. That's what it
I
is.
fully understand now.
Yeah.
Do you have a game plan in your head with how long you plan to continue competing for as a team, or are you just kind of playing it?
Yeah, I kind of play it by ear. If you would ask me last year, I probably said I had a year or two left and I'd be done. But this year I feel great. It's the best I've felt in a long time health-wise. As long as I feel like I'm not holding anybody back and I can still, you know, hold my own and be a productive member of the team, I'll compete as long as I keep enjoying it. So I feel good right now.
Josh Bridges says he wants to go team.
There we go.
Yeah.
He's got to get his knee fixed.
Yeah.
Get that thing working first.
Tia said once she's done with individual, she wants to go team.
Hey, come on.
You guys could have a super squad.
Mayhem Australia team, then, not me.
Yeah, Mayhem Australia. And you know, this vlog is honest, right? Like, what is your nutrition like? Because I'm like, does this dude not eat?
Well, so you've been hanging out with me a lot because I'm doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And so I eat from 1 p.m. till 9 p.m. And so I have been working with RP the last couple of years, and so they did have me on like a full schedule. But then in August, after the games, you know, I'd been reading some stuff on intermittent fasting, how it was good for inflammation, some other things, and so I was having so much inflammation in my knee, I was like, I want to give it a shot and see what it does. And I've felt great since August, so I do intermittent fasting, and I try to work in my food within that 8 hours. And so right at 1 o'clock is usually when, you know, I eat a lot, and then, you know, throughout, depending on training sessions and what we're doing, then I'll eat.
And you do eat cookies and ice cream and things like that.
Hey, you know, if it fits in there, you gotta.
Is the RP tablet macros?
It's very similar to macros. They do a lot of timing stuff and other things, but there's a monster back there. It's about getting the certain numbers. Yeah, so I have a template of like a certain amount of protein, carbs, and fats that I'm supposed to get, and they want you to get healthier stuff. But hey, if you got some extra carbs at the end of the day, why not eat a cookie? You know, right?
You're having a giant party at your house, and you can only invite one person. So it's you. It's you and that person for the night. Like obviously
My wife.
No, but apart from your wife.
That's right.
Who are you going to invite? That's the last question.
Ooh.
You've got to spend 4 hours with them. There's banging music. There's a lot of drinks.
Living or dead? Like anyone in history?
Okay, anyone in history?
I mean, you gotta say. For me, I have to say Jesus, obviously, but
That would be a party.
Hey, it would be. But
You'd waste on tap water.
oh, man, that's a tough one. One person, me, that person, and my wife hanging out.
Yep.
Bridges.
No, I've hung out with Josh too. No, Dan. Dan's lived with me for too long. Love Dan. Oh man.
Ellie.
No, not Ellie. Hey, man, Shane is a party. Shane's a good dude to have around. He's funny.
If you want to chat, Royce is quite good at that stuff.
Royce is a good
get a name
conversation.
dropping. Yeah.
Royce is a good conversation.
He can talk to you for hours.
I like a bunch of people. I don't like a bunch of people all in one area because I don't like crowds. But yeah.
I couldn't take Craig without Jazz. I couldn't take T without Shane.
Yeah.
Just be me and Laurie.
And Jack.
And Jack. I can guess.
Trice and Lakeland.
Any more kids?
Not in the immediate future. Definitely not opposed to having more kids for sure. We're good on the baby stage right now. We're ready to be out of diapers for a little while, but yeah, I would have a fourth for sure. If that's the plan. If not, then we're great with our three. You know, I was great with Lakeland, and then Trice came along, and loved having Trice around, and now we've got Violet. So we got a party, but it's awesome. It's a fun party. It's chaos, but it's good. Good chaos.
Like a personal question: would you ever consider adopting like an older kids, like 2 or 3, like get kids?
We're definitely not opposed to doing. Now, especially having had babies for so long, you're like, it'd be nice to start at about 2 or 3. But I'm not opposed to any age. We actually had one fall through that was around 4, and so we're completely open to any situation that fits what we feel like God's plan for us is.
Yeah.
Do you reckon your kids will become the fittest on earth?
I don't know. I'd never push them to. I will always push them to do something physically active, but I'll never push them to do anything. If they don't want to do CrossFit, they don't have to do CrossFit. But I do want them to play some type of sport or be involved in something as some part of team. I feel like there's so much benefit, life lessons learned in sports through competition, but 2. In working with people and being on a team, some of those things I can't replace. Growing up, like some of my best mentors were my baseball coaches, and some of my best friends were my teammates. So can't replace that.
And you've got a great setup. Like I was jealous.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
we got a great.
You got buggies, and like dirt bikes, and loads of land.
Yeah.
And paintball guns.
What did Josh say? Josh is like he's just a big kid with a lot of money, I think is what he said. But
it's like Disneyland for CrossFitters.
Yeah. No, we have a good time. We got mountain bikes. We got everything you need.
That was 35 minutes over the 20.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
We must say thank you so
No,
much.
thank
for
you
having
guys.
us.
Yeah, no, you guys have been
We
great.
really
this week has been insane, team. Like you might not have seen as much of him because he's training with the team right now, and obviously in a week's time we'll be seeing him in Shanghai if we get our visas.
I got mine yesterday, so we're good.
But it's been nice, like hanging out. Like I said it, like I didn't want to bring out my camera too much and be in your face all the time that you're here. I know
you guys are super laid back and great to have around. You guys are welcome.
We're definitely going to be back
welcome
in 4 days.
Come on, get those visas and come on back.
We're coming. And then we're going to buy somewhere in Cookville because it's so cheap.
Hey,
It's
come on.
ridiculous.
Hey, come on.
What you can buy in England for 3 bedrooms, like our house, £300,000.
Yeah.
Right? You for here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you live in an expensive area. We can buy that in England. You just probably won't want to live there.
Yeah, Cookville's a good area no matter where you go. You know,
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
Great gym.
Like
And
that.
everyone's
You like
so
Dags?
friendly. I've
Oh,
never met
dogs.
so many friendly people.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
nice.
Cookville is. I mean,
Everywhere.
you're in the south, and the south is pretty nice.
A lot of people were saying, "Mom." Was it mom?
Yeah.
Ma'am?
Ma'am. When Jazz was picking up the car, hey ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
That's okay, ma'am.
When I first heard it, I thought they were calling me man. Like
Man?
calling my mum man.
So
Yeah.
manly.
And
Ma'am.
I was like, man?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, man.
Four
Mayhem.
rounds for time.
Mayhem.
Right, yeah, that's it. That's been a
Awesome.
mini interview with Rich. We'll get a load of questions more for next time.
Next time.
It's been a fast one. Now we go
Speed.
to the airport.
The airport.
Ready? Cool transition. Ready? Star Wars. Cut to the airport.
Yep.